a special good welcome to everyone in the room. I'm just delighted to have you join me here on Bobby Likis Car Clinic on Paltalk.com, the global communicator and enabler. I love the word enable. It enables. I mean, what does a car do for you? It enables, if you take care of it, of course, it enables you to go from point A to point B. How you get there, how you look getting there, that's important. It's important. Hey, okay, there's a little vanity there, but that's all right. I like to drive my smart car. I like to drive my car. Let's see, we have a hand up already in the room, so we're going to turn the mic right directly to you. I have some information that you really might be interested in. Have you ever thought about how to read a barcode? And you might say, well, now, wait a minute, I don't care about how to read a barcode, but believe it or not, there's a way you can tell where a product was manufactured in the barcode, and I'll share that with you. You may want to get a pen or whatever, but if I go too fast for you, you can Cynthia will send you the information. Let's turn the mic to a guest, a special guest. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you in the house, Doug. You have the mic. We'll give you the mic, and then we'll talk about the barcodes. Unbelievable.
Hey, happy holidays, Bobby. It's raining to beat heck down here in Central Florida.
Thank you.
Good up your way. Hey, on my wife's 2001 Jeep Sport 4.0 two-wheel drive, thing just, it's got 70,000 on it, and it runs it sweet. I put in some fuel line and injector cleaner a while back, and I read it. Usually I use the Lucas, and that leaves the film, so I wanted to try something different because I believe I've got some bad gas. And it had a pretty high alcohol content. I filled the tank up, I put it in. Within a day, my check engine light went on. And when we run it down to about 3/4 of a tank low, we filled it back up, and the check engine light went out. So I've been reading about this. And we filled up. Now the gas prices are going down. We stopped at racetrack, and it tells you, how much percent alcohol's in it. The filters are good, the fuel line, the injectors, it's banging on all six, Bobby. I mean, it's getting the right mileage. We're getting about 410 out of a 20-gallon tank, but the check engine light came back on after I pulled it up 2 days ago. Will the alcohol, because are they fibbing to us? Will it make the check engine sensors go off? Because I put my machine on it, and it's not giving me anything affirmative back. But will alcohol make that check engine light go on if the sensors are working right?
It should not, no. Alcohol, of course, is, and there are different types of alcohol, but specifically you're talking about ethyl alcohol, which is ethanol, and that could be from corn or from cellulosic or whatever. The percentage of alcohol that is in gasoline across the nation is a maximum of 10%. Up to 10%. In California, it's about 5.9. Around the states, I'm going to say average probably 8% ethanol, and that's a solvent. Now, I know you didn't ask about ethanol, but you're asking, I think, a couple of questions. You poured some cleaner in there, and I don't know what kind of cleaner that you used, but it was afterwards that the light came on. But so I'll address that. But specifically with regard to the ethanol that's added to fuels, excluding flex fuel cars that are E85. That's the 85% alcohol and 15% gasoline blend. Set those aside. The specific computer programming, the onboard computers, the oxygen sensors, both before the catalytic converter and after the catalytic converter, the dual sensors are all, that whole program is created to use an oxygenant, and that oxygenant is an additive that blenders, that's the gas companies, use to meet clean air specifications in cities that cannot attain the clean air, and that would be Dallas, Birmingham, parts of Atlanta. There's a belt that runs from the south and sort of runs northeast, and then, of course, in California, you've got other cities that cannot reach clean air attainment, or have dirtier air than what is acceptable by EPA. So in those cities, the blenders were forced to reformulate, and that's what it's called, reformulated fuel, to force to reformulate the fuel and add an oxygenant. And then in the mid-70s, the blenders managed to, and cars weren't ready for gasohol, for ethanol, so they created MTBE, methyl tertiary butyl ether, and that MTBE was found to pollute groundwaters in California. So the government said to the blenders, okay, you still got to use an oxygenant to meet clean air standards in those cities that don't meet clean air standards. So you got to sell gasoline that is reformulated with a percentage of oxygenate in it, and that's the word because it gives you oxygen in a bottle. And that allows you specifically to mix the same amount of gas and air, which would be for 1 gallon of gas, about 9,000 gallons of air. So when you've got that air-fuel mixture just right, and how do you lean it out even more? How do you take away fuel? Well, you can't. So what you do is you cheat, or not cheat, but you use technology and you add air in liquid form to the gasoline. So now you've got your 1 gallon of gas and your 9,000 gallons of air, which makes the engine run as clean as possible on a 14.7 parts air to fuel, or it's called stoichiometric for you techies. And now you've got, but that didn't work in Dallas, in California. So you add 10% over here of this gas, you add an oxygenant, which is a liquid that is an oxygen-bearing liquid. So that's the reason that I say, and that's the facts, that all of the check engine lights for every car in the world would come on, or in our world, in the States rather, not the world, here we're on Paltalk, so the world means the world, literally, but in the U.S. and in other countries as well, but I'll specifically stick to the U.S., every light on every check engine would come on if 10% ethanol or MTBE or some new source that they found tomorrow, some way to inject air into the fuel. Now, you used a cleaner, and therein could lie the problem, and it doesn't have to maintain